Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do a little matte painting and day for night conversion. Kind of, I did this image here, posted it to Facebook a few days ago, I think, and there were some questions about how it's done, basically. So the reason that I have to work on this shot is we shot a feature film last month, and we shot every night scene during the day using day for night techniques. Now, we didn't go with the traditional sort of just make it all look very blue option, because when you look at suburban environments, they really don't look that blue, to be honest. They look a lot more orange because of the sodium street lights. And using that sort of just make it all blue white balancing technique for day for night, I was explained that the sky will usually give it away, so this is why we want to replace the sky with something that looks more like a night sky. Plus I didn't really like this empty block over here, so since I wanted to have quite a city feel for the scene, I decided to put something in the background there. So let's switch over to After Effects and look at the shot here. So it's a static shot, which is lucky for us, since it will be a lot easier. If it was a moving shot, still totally possible to do this, but you'd like to use some different techniques for that. In any case, it starts with basically making masks for all these pieces where the sky is shown through. And the way I go about it usually is to just sort of draw it really rough in the beginning and then clean it up later. And you want to set these masks to subtract because you want to get rid of it. I want to keep this lamppost here because we're going to do something with it later. Now, in the final version of this, I want to keep these as well. For now, I'll just sort of cheat it and get rid of them entirely because it just is going to take a lot of time. And get rid of all these bits. You want to be a lot more precise with this. Get rid of all these little tiny bits over here. And there's one more right here. And actually, let's get rid of this here as well. We'll clean it up later, but yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna have to go over these masks again and make that all really tight. Make sure that it looks as good as it can do from the beginning. So this goes all the way over here. And really try to get this very tight, because you want to get rid of that green glow around everything. That's what's going to give your effect away quite fast if that's not taken care of. It's kind of difficult at the moment because of the screen recording software. It's going into that adaptive resolution thing, so can't really see what I'm doing at a certain point, but it's just for demonstration purposes here. It's not going to be perfect. Oh, move the whole mask. Just keep adding points to your rough mask until you really get everything nice. Oops. And get this little thing in there as well. I'm so zoomed in right now, I can't even really see whether or not that's good, but we'll see it later. Go all the way down here. At that point. Move up. See the little green still. There you go. See what we have here. That looks pretty good. Gonna have to clean up all these other ones as well. So. Zoom in. This just takes a lot of time to do and perfect. I'll try to go over it a little bit quicker. Can't do it much quicker, but just not try to make it all perfect for now. The better you do this, the better it's gonna sell in the end. zoom in here. Oops. Wherever you need, just add points. Really try to get rid of that green glow. That looks pretty good over there. Let's go here. I'll cheat this a little bit. It's going to be fine for now. Kind of feel like I want to do this one a little bit better. Okay, let's see. We'll do this one and then move on. Okay, let's do this. Let's go with this. So the next step would be to find yourself a background that you want to put in there, whether it just be a sky or a completely different background like I went with. Just put that underneath your original footage layer. Kind of find a position and a scale that works for you. It's a little bit too big, so I'll scale it down. Find a good position for that. I'll scale it up a little bit, just a tiny bit. Kind of want that to be there or something. This looks just about right. Yep. So as you can see, it doesn't really look like it's very integrated. It doesn't really look like it's part of the same shot like you have over here. So the next step would be to find the colors. I put curves on the original footage layer, and first of all I'm going to darken it down because it's supposed to be a night shot. So I don't know, just about there, and put a little bit of contrast in there. Get the tint effect to take care of that saturation a little bit, maybe about 25%. Then possibly get rid of the green a little bit. Pushing the blue in there. I don't know. It's just about there. It's a little bit better. You can see we have a little bit of a green haze over here. We'll see. That's going to hurt us. What we can do with these masks on the original footage layer, with all these masks over here, select them all, press F, and you can get to feather them. I would say just about maybe, let's look at 5 pixels. That's way too much. It looks too soft. So take all these masks, press F for feather, maybe go to around 2 pixels. That's a little better. You can still see the greenish haze here, but we'll live with it for now. We'll see. Get another curves out and put that on your background layer. Just look a little bit, like try to sort of match up the footage. Get a tint effect out. Get rid of that saturation a little more. It's about 50%. And go to the blue channel. Get rid of that blue a little bit. Go to the green channel, put some green in there. Just a little bit. Now I think on the original footage there may have been a filter on the camera, so I usually use a photo filter. And just like kind of look which one was on the camera. I think there was an 85 sort of filter on that. I mean, the closest thing I have to that is this photo filter effect. And just try to sort of match up that a little bit. I don't know if I usually use that underneath everything. It's just, it matches up a little bit better. The color just integrates a little bit better, I think. And I'm not very good at coloring, so what happens a lot is like I experiment and then I throw everything away and I start over just to try to get the best thing I can out of it. But this looks sort of close. I kind of want to restart this curves thing, see if I can get that a little bit better. There's a lot of red in there now. Take that red a little bit. Take out the blue. Push a little bit of green. Yeah. It'll do for now. So in the original picture here, I also created this light effect, like there was some light from the street coming, so I duplicated the original footage and took out all these masks since we don't need them for that. And just threw in this sort of general mask, like this light is sort of falling in from there, and then it just sort of hits here. Just sort of, I don't know. Like it creates this lighting effect. So put some brightness on there. Oops. Let's just drag that over there. Up the brightness a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. And then take that mask and press F for feather and feather it out like a lot. so that it's really nice and soft, like light would be. So that looks, you know, kind of okay. Really need to make these masks and stuff a lot tighter if you want to do this correctly. Like, I spent a lot of time in the original just sort of getting rid of that glow. Oh, that reminds me, there's another effect here with the light. You have to turn these lights on because it's night and the lights would be on. So what I do here is I create a new solid, make it like kind of a bright yellowish color. Turn that off for a moment so I can see what I'm doing here, and zoom in on that light, like quite a lot. And with that yellow solid selected, just sort of draw a mask around where that light would kind of be. Just there. You can turn that back on. And with that mask, just feather that out a little bit so it's nice and soft. Go back to the original. And take this glow effect right here, stylized glow. Bring up the intensity quite a bit and threshold down. Just kind of brighten that up. It's pretty good. It's not great. It's better here. Maybe I put a blur on it as well. Not sure. No. Maybe 2 pixels. Yeah, that's kind of okay. Speaking about blur, you want to blur this background layer as well, maybe about 2 pixels, because it's not going to be in focus very much, is it? It's straight 3. It's maybe a little bit too much. Let's go back to 2. And last thing, if you want to do a match graying on that background layer, set it to final output and select your original footage layer as the source here, and I will kind of like match the grain with your original layer, which is important to match it up as well, because yeah, you want to try to integrate it as much as possible. And then I don't know, take an adjustment layer, put that on top of everything, get another curves out, and just create a bit more contrast, a bit more punch to the whole thing, because it's a night shot, so it should be dark. And then tint effect, get rid of that saturated look. That's quite nice. It's really not perfect, and I'm going through it a lot quicker than I did on this original, and even this was kind of a work in progress. But yeah, you have to experiment with this. It's more like the techniques are there, but you have to really spend time on it. I quite like this. It's good. Then I like to use just Red Giant's Mojo plugin. Just create some extra punch. It's going really slow now. Here we go. That's way too much. Let's tweak these values a little bit. Use a lot less of it. It's a bit dark at the moment. It's a bit dark. Maybe I'll brighten this up a little bit. There's another important fact with this lighting up of the lamppost. It's kind of the same thing we did over here. Is you want to create a little bit of light falling over there. So you take that copy layer, and zoom in over there where that light is shining. It's a little bit too much. So the light is shining here, and then it should be sort of creating this light over here. So with that layer, that duplicated layer selected, I would kind of go here. Let's see, so it's shining from there. I would kind of start over here, I think. Create this sort of light all the way over here. Yeah, it would fall on here and kind of here. So you can see that kind of brightens it up. Now I would take that mask and feather it like we did the other ones, where it will create this sort of glow, which we don't want. So with that mask selected, just open it up and bring in the expansion a little bit. Maybe bring the feathering down just a bit. Expand it a little bit, just so it brightens it up. It's a little bit, it's these masks are seriously not perfect. Can tighten it up. Anyway, again, you have to just really spend time on that masking process, getting it to look right and get rid of that glow. I mean, a quick way we can sort of go for that is again to select all these masks and just open them up and just bring in that mask expansion, just like a pixel or two. Which is like a really quick fix, because you shouldn't do this for real, because while it will work over here quite well, and in certain places it will work quite well, we're losing this bar here that was there. But just for now, just to show it real quick, that's what the edges should look like without the green glow, which helps sell the effect quite a bit more. So this is quite nice. It doesn't look perfect, doesn't look quite the same as this one, but that's okay. Again, you should experiment with this and make it look like the way you want it to look. Another, just a final sort of quick thing I would probably do with this. First of all, I'm really thinking maybe it should be just a touch brighter, just a little bit, and then just get some film grain. I've got some wholly grain free film grain over here. You might want to go to interpret footage and just loop this a few times, because otherwise you just get this like tiny little bit. Put that on top, set the blend mode to overlay, and then I usually go with about 20%. This is really subtle, but yeah, just bring some film grain in there. And then sort of up to you whether or not you want to go with the whole anamorphic kind of look. it's an option.